What's going on, everybody? We are back with another episode. I am AJ Capasso from Coventry Circle Paranormal, and I'm here with, once again,
Robin from Hoffer Paranormal and Chris from Hoffer Paranormal. Who's driving?
You guys are watching another episode of Talking with the Source. Today, man, we have a really cool guest, as you know, one of our brothers, great friend, just the whole crew is amazing. I mean, between Squeeks, Lurker, Matt, just everybody in PARACREW is absolutely awesome in the P3 family. And we also have another special guest as well, which I'm super excited. And I didn't know. Matt didn't even tell me about it, which is cool. We have Wicca consultant Mackenzie with us, which I'm super happy to have. Before we get started, I just want to do a couple shout outs to our brothers over at PD Paranormal. Go check them out on all their social medias. They got some great stuff that they're doing. I mean, events, everything. So if you're down a little bit down south from the East Coast there, please go and visit them. Check out their social medias. Want to give a shout out to Brian Laverty over at Hunophobia, live on Paraflix right now. He's also about to be on the cover and also has a little op-ed inside magazine, Beyond the Gravestones, I believe it is. So there will be a post on our thing tonight about it. So check out the edition and pick up your copy. Also, we want to give a shout out to Ghost Energy Drinks. They got some creepy flavors like Swedish Fish, Orange Creamsicle, Sour Patch Kids. You can find it at GNC, all health food stores, as well as pre-workout stuff they have and some other great stuff. So it's a great company. Check them out. As you just saw, a commercial for the Global Ghost Hunt 2023. It is happening. The website is about to drop this week, I believe. So stay tuned. Once it opens, open registration will be available. So any teams or researchers that want to join this historic event, please register. And if you don't have a team or you don't do investigations, it's totally fine. If you want to be involved in this epic, event, it's a 10-day event. We're looking for volunteers. We will have a volunteer application on the page. So please go fill it out. Help us out. We have a ton of people. We have 19 people on the board, man. I mean, it's huge. I mean, we have so many people from director down to supervisor down to team leaders. I mean, it's absolutely awesome. We also want to give a shout out to FCD Ghost Boxes out in the UK. Great ghost boxes. Go check them out. They have regular radio sweep ghost boxes that also have portal built in, so you could basically use your own devices that you would like with the effects that they have, as well as a REM pod that's built into the same device. Just an amazing device of what he's done. So go check it out. And so, man, let's bring out our guest, dude. I'm super pumped, man. So first, I want to bring out the one and only paranormal consultant.
What's up, everybody?
Matt Barron.
I want to also bring out Squeeks, one of my favorites.
Squeaks.
I want to bring out also,
I'm awake. I promise.
Lurker.
yeah, Lurker.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having us on.
Hey guys.
And last but not least, I want to bring out Wicca consultant Mackenzie. What's going on? How are you guys?
Mackenzie.
The wormhole.
All right, we have the wormhole.
What's up, Raymond? Hi, Irene. How are you? So thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Irene says hello to Raymond, and she also says hello to Matt. So, guys, first thing I want to get into, man, is PARACREW Podcast, man. Talk a little bit about it. Tell everybody what you're about, what you do. Just let it free, man. Tell them what's good. Whoever wants to start.
Well, I guess I should, in all fairness.
Just steal the spot.
Got to. No, so originally, I started kind of doing my own podcast, and it was just a couple of like stupid videos here and there, just how-tos, out in cemeteries.
Wait, Matt, not to stop you. Holy crap. Our other host, Steve-O, showed up. Oh, sorry.
Steve-O.
Hey, guys.
I'm super happy he was able to.
Steve-O's on.
So sorry, man. But please start over. We're talking about PARACREW Podcast. Talk about what it is, how it started, all that good stuff.
Well, so like I said, it all originally started. I started doing some random videos in cemeteries and traveling around, just little how-tos. And that's when I met my now manager Scott, he's known on our show as Mr. Fedora. He told me, he goes, hey, you have something here. You should have it more structured, have a certain day to go live, do this and that, and really start to branch out. And I'm solo.
It was too small on my screen. I had to see it better.
Great. No. So I took his advice, started my own show, and it was just Friday nights, 9 p.m. Yeah, I am. Festive.
Showing off the guns, baby.
That's it, right? But the pistols. Yeah. And then I started getting more guests and more people and more interest. And so I started a second show, which was originally my Wednesday shows. And long story short, it started building and building and building. And my two co-hosts below me, well, one below me, and then the creepy guy right there in the middle center square.
You missed someone.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Shame.
No. And then obviously my wife wanted to jump in, but I'm getting to you. But anyway, Squeeks and Lurker both said that they wanted to start their own show. They didn't know how to go about it, and they spoke with me separately. So I said, you know what? Screw it. Why don't you guys just be my co-host? Why don't you guys just come on, hang out, and we'll, get you some experience and get used to being on camera. And then my wife, Mackenzie, said that she wanted to do the same thing. So we just kind of go back and forth in tandem. And then Squeakers actually realized that it was originally the Paracast. Then the Paracast was actually a taken name. That you said they were doing it for a while, right, Squeaks?
Yeah. I think they were since I don't remember how far back Facebook goes, but I think it was 2011, 2012, somewhere around there.
Okay.
She suggested that we change the name.
Yep.
So then we all got together and started talking about it, and I forget who said it, but somebody said PARACREW. And we came up with a couple other names too, but the PARACREW just seemed to just roll off the tongue. Mm-hmm. It was really interesting, really nice. It fit well, and it kind of stands what we stand for, where it's a collective. We're all putting our input into it. So PARACREW obviously is, a little tie-up or spin-off of Para-Unity, which we stand for. So it just fit.
Cool.
Here.
That's awesome. Now, Squeeks and Lurker, I want to hear you guys' side of it. Tell me, what did you want the most out of PARACREW? For you, Squeeks, what was your goal when you got into PARACREW? When you first got into change the name, obviously, because that just wasn't happening.
I had been a part of groups before, but not to the point where I felt comfortable really getting on air. I have horrible stage fright. I don't do well with people very much. And so I was like, well, maybe this could help. And plus, I'm not one for really talking with people. And so a lot of that comes from past history junk that I won't get onto in this conversation. But I came across Matt through Brian James from Spokane Ghost Crew, and now
Global United Paranormal Consultant. I got you, Squeaks.
And that's how we all met, and I liked what he was doing, and I just was like, well, hey, can you help me with getting some of my stage fright from behind me? Because I honestly did, like Lurker, I never thought that I would be in front of people talking about the paranormal in my entire life. So because I was deadly afraid of talking to people about it. And you can ask members of my old crew that are a part of our members group, and they would say the same thing. No, she would be one thing she would get up in front of people. So that's basically, and to meet people.
That's awesome.
And these three are my brothers and my sisters now, and that's something that I have a hard time finding friends. So like everybody else, and so.
You know what? Better to keep your circle small. That's the way that I look at it. So, hey, I just want to let Irene said, Sarah, you are doing super, and you are absolutely doing super. You are doing an amazing job. So don't ever take that away from yourself.
Absolutely. And AJ,
shut up! I'm talking.
I'll let you do it. But we have to give a shout out to who commented for us.
Finish. You did. I know what you were gonna say. Listen, don't take it away from me. Give me a second. All right.
Okay.
Wait, whose show are we on? I feel like we're on our show.
Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our good friends. Give a good shout out to our good friends at AAP Variety Channel for always supporting us and all the other channels that they help grow. Head over to YouTube and check them out. I mean, just amazing people. We love you guys, Mr. and Mrs. AAP. But what I wanted to say was I want to go into Carlos too. Carlos Lurker, tell me, what was it for you that you wanted to get out of this podcast? And do the best from, or what would you want to get out of it technically? So,
well, I had a similar situation like Squeeks where I wasn't like, I don't like to show my face on camera, or I was kind of like an introvert when it comes to talking with other people and stuff. So Matt posted on there's like, would you like to be a star on the show? I was like, sure. Yeah. I decided, hey, I want to try, and because I want to do my own podcast someday. So I want to be able to get the strength to conquer the fear of being on camera and talking to a whole bunch of people online. I never knew I would ever do till this day. And I had a lot of support from Matt and Squeakers, and now Mackenzie's also supporting me in this too. And I couldn't be more grateful in meeting with them. And now I have accomplished so much more this past year than I ever accomplished in my whole life. And this P3 program has definitely worked for me.
That's awesome.
You've got support from us all, not just
support from us all. Listen, I see a lot of people always ask me, like even when I was in school for broadcasting, the teachers would be like, why are you so comfortable behind, like on camera or in front of people and stuff? It's only because I was a musician and I was in a band from like 13 years old till like 24, and after getting on stage in front of tons of people, opening up for like Ludacris and stuff like that at Penn State College, you kind of have like no choice. So I'm gonna tell you what, it gets 10 times easier as it goes on. So like you and Squeakers, please, you guys do awesome. Don't take none of that away from you guys. And I love your guys' show. Like me and Robin talked about, I'm like, I have a hard time sitting there and watching podcasts a lot of the time. Just for some reason, I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but when I came across your guys and I became friends with Matt, I mean, right away, just the chemistry between you all and the funniness between you all, especially with Squeaker Soren. I mean, that made my day. So keep it up, what you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
Now, Mackenzie.
And also, AJ.
Yeah.
The reason why you're also so good in camera is the fact of how many people you know. Being on the street corners in the evenings.
I was waiting for it.
I've got to do it. Because he sent me a prop that he has. There we are. This is AJ's hat.
Yes.
He sent me one of the hats that he uses.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, this is between me and Robin the entire time. Like, we were going to go back and forth every show probably on this. But you know what?
Steve-O, is he a tart or is he a tart?
He's the quiet one of the group. That's why I like Steve-O. You got to be more like him. You got to barely show up and never talk. It's awesome.
That's how I roll, man. That's how I roll.
Oh, yeah, baby.
He still said we're a tart, though.
Yeah, right. So, Mackenzie, tell us a little bit about yourself. I haven't really had a chance to, get to speak with you yet. I got to speak with you just very, very briefly, but please tell us a little bit about, what you're doing and your channel. I mean, your show. I mean, just tell us a little bit about all of it.
So technically, I can't hear myself. I don't like it. Technically, Matt, when he first started the show, missed something. I was his unofficial camera person, which is why I told him he missed something.
Also my manager.
Also his manager before Scott was his manager.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Which is why I said he missed it. And he didn't correct himself. But I was his unofficial cameraman, because I don't like being on camera. I'm probably more of an introvert than Lurker. I hate new people. Like, absolutely hate new people. I don't like being touched. I don't like being hugged. I'm not an affectionate person by any stretch of the mind. Get away from me. And I guess I got comfortable doing it because in school I was part of the videography group at school. So I did a lot of stuff for the school, like a lot of the commercials that we would play during like pep rallies and stuff like that. And of course, sometimes you have to be in those videos because you can't find willing participants unless you bribe them in school.
Yep.
So I would be in the videos a lot, and I guess I just got comfortable with that. And currently I have my own show called Creepy Cryptids.
Yeah, please tell us a little bit about it.
And it's a part of the paranormal that is the beyond, the things most people don't want to talk about. So like aliens and Mothman, and
Awesome.
it's about theories as well. So like having theories that some of the space stations that are in our atmosphere aren't ours. They're from other species. Or like the moon is just one giant alien base. It's not actually
The hollow moon theory.
Yeah, the hollow moon theory, where
Yep.
it's just an alien base and they're just watching us from it. And then tonight, Matt is gonna do his theory that he told you about, AJ, tonight on my show at 7.
Yeah, guys, go check that out at 7. Definitely, because he's gonna have a great show tonight. Some things that we talked about on the PARACREW podcast I did about my starting in the journey, and I'll be on next weekend, or next Monday, right? Is it next Monday? Yeah, next Monday. So I'm pumped for that. I can't wait. That's gonna be awesome. I wish I was able to come, tonight. Unfortunately, with everything, I actually might be able to. It depends. So I may be able to. You may get a surprise.
If he makes enough money in the street corner beforehand,
Yeah,
I knew that was coming. I knew that was.
You know what I'm saying? So, but
I think Lurker's leaking.
Matt, back to you. What I wanted to ask you was, and especially all of us, I mean, just being a part of this P3 family. I want you guys to tell me a little bit about this. I'll start with Matt, obviously. Tell me about how you created it. What was the reason? Just tell me all about it that you can. Tell us about the different branches that you're starting now and just what's going on.
No worries. So first of all, just like Brian Laverty at Parapost, I wanted a community. I wanted people to be given an opportunity to network easier, faster, help clients out, and basically to give it a spot to where teams and groups and even just regular individuals who don't have a team, basically a chance to network and to promote evidence, to ask questions, and basically just be a family and to show that para unity and that support that a lot of us have been wanting. And I was speaking with my wife, Mackenzie, about it. And I said, what about starting up some sort of program to where we can network with a lot of people very quickly and very easily? And she said it wasn't a bad idea. And I spoke with Scott about it. Scott liked the idea. And I think I was just in here in my studio, and Paranormal Partnership Program just seemed to work. I liked the sound of it. So calling it P3 for short, it looked good. It sounded good. And that's when that started. And then I got Squeakers, Lurker, and the whole PARACREW, everyone on board with it. And we just started networking from there. So it was a lot of work to get it started. And then next thing we know, we just started growing. And one thing that Scott mentioned to me, and even Brian Laverty said, holding accountability for everybody. So I wrote up these contracts, which I'm proud to say that you two over here have now officially signed and joined. Love to have you on the family. Steve-O, coming for you next, bud. But I didn't forget about you down there.
The guy on the bottom, I'm okay with that.
But no, it seemed to really work, and it really has started to change our community, just like Parapost. And I just really, really like it. And then recently I've noticed, and I heard a lot from our UK family, that there's nothing really like this going on in the UK. So I started a US branch or division, which Marcus Welly from Minnesota Spirit Hunters and Scott from Warren Area Society of Paranormal are running. They're running the US side. And then Paul which I saw him in the audience from Mystic Paranormal UK. He's running my UK division. Now, what's nice about all this is I wanted the P3 to be ran by the teams. So now we have representation on the US side and on the UK side that the teams themselves are running. So if anybody, like, for example, wants to join in the UK, they just have to go to Paul. They sign the contract with Paul. Paul will send them the contract. They sign it. It comes back to Paul. Him and I chat a little bit, and we approve them. We approve them to come in. And it's a really easy and simple process. And the same thing with the U.S. side. Marcus and Scott will get the contracts out to new groups, new teams, anybody. They'll network with them. They sign the contracts, and and I just basically step back as a support role. And the family literally runs itself, and it's really, really nice.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. I think it's so great the way you started, man, and then also the branches and divisions that you're starting, because you're right. Like, I mean, when I met Robin, he was telling me about, there's competition. It's just like one thing after another. Everyone's trying to, either become famous or make money off of this field. And, obviously we all want to do good in life, but, this thing where you just, there's a respect level that people like to break in this field, and they'll start faking things, or they'll, just put others down. And, that's not what this field is about. If we put all of our work together, all of our research together, started working together, I think that we would be so much farther in this field.
Well, and I think and I'm starting to see now that I'm diving more into the UK side, I'm helping Paul get this going. I think the US and the UK really don't have, and I'm actually, Jacqueline, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm getting to this. I've noticed a lot of egos. There's a lot of ulterior motives and a lot of egos with these little cliques and groups that everybody has. And, some people say that, I'm a part of the UK, like Jacqueline, you're a part of the UK page. Yes, I actually archived it because I saw something that honestly is not what the P3 stands for. And it was causing a lot of issues. And I just said, plain and simple, okay, well, we're going to stop it. We're going to deal with the problem, and then we'll get back to it. So just because you're a member or you sign up for the P3, which please do, go to the Facebook pages for P3 UK or P3 US, like them, follow them, do that, all that great stuff. But on the same token, just because you sign it or you're on the Facebook pages, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a member of the P3 family. Until you sign that contract and you get approved, basically, because it's what we're basically looking for is anybody who stands for para-unity, truly stands for para-unity. And it's not just one person speaking for 12 different groups. No, each those 12 groups have to separately come, because it's going to break up a lot of the, let's just say, cliques that I've been hearing a lot of issues are stemming from. Because there are ulterior motives, there are a lot of egos. And I feel like, just like here in the U.S., that's going to be the first thing that has to go. If the UK wants true para-unity, get rid of the egos.
Like with anything, though, when you first start something, you're going to have these battles. I mean, and you can call them battles, or you can call them nonsense, or whatever you want to call them. But that's what it is. It's never going to be easy starting something up from scratch.
No, it's not. But at the end of the day, this is a problem that we have. And I mean, especially here in the UK, it's like there's a few times in my whole time of doing this where I could quite easily have walked away from it, because of the fact that people seem to think that, and I'm not talking for everybody here, I'm talking about a minority, but it's like, places are theirs. Well, no, they're not. Just because you find them doesn't mean they're yours. I mean, it's like, if you were at the place first, it doesn't matter whether you were at it first, or whether you were at it second, or whether you were at it 25th. It doesn't matter. It's, don't go destroying it. Don't go wrecking the place. Don't go taking stuff. Just go, do your videos, take your photographs or whatever, and be done with it. It doesn't matter to me, and I know it doesn't matter to anybody else here, who gets there first. It is. You're right, Paul. It is a problem in the UK, because what it is now as well is it's all about subscribers. This is all what it's about. And, you know, you even have the fact that some people who were urban explorers get as far as they can, urban exploring, and then think, I'll add paranormal to it. Well, you know, at the end of the day, to me, you're one or the other. Or if you're doing both, then have a channel for your urban exploring, have a different channel for your paranormal, and do it that way.
You know, and I understand exactly what you're saying, Robin, with that. And I think the real issue with a lot of the people what you're talking about, especially when it comes to the Urban Explorer channels that are now branching over, they're not branching over to this field, a lot of them, because they're interested in the paranormal. I mean, yeah, they may be trickled or whatever, but it's mostly because of the fact that they just want the subscribers, they want the viewers, and they know that right now this paranormal boom is like the way to go. I mean, you see a ton of channels that went from, you know, reviewing tech to all of a sudden being a paranormal investigator, but then when they go to talk about certain things, they have no idea what they're talking about, and they're really doing it for the, you know, for the clout and for the subscribers. And I'm like I said, I'm totally down for people growing. I'm down for people getting, you know, somewhere in life at all, but just have the right intentions. That's all I say to it. You know, like I think that's a big part just in this, is just have the right intentions.
It is. It definitely is. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, there might be people watching this podcast now who don't agree with what I'm saying, and I might get a few messages personally saying that I'm wrong on what I'm doing, I'm wrong on what I'm saying. But you know, this is another thing about para unity. We all have to be able to have our opinions. This is the thing. It doesn't mean that if I say my opinion on a certain thing, it doesn't mean to say that it's right. It just means that it's my opinion.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. Para unity, and I don't care who you are, if you're preaching para unity, you have to be able to, number one, give constructive criticism and receive it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It does not matter anyone's philosophies or thoughts, because, like, for example, my wife, Mackenzie, her thoughts and opinions on a lot of things are very different than mine. But here's the thing, and I've said this numerous times. The paranormal field, we already know, is there life after death? Yes, we know this. Otherwise, who are we speaking with? Our biggest question is what happens after death? And it's going to take literally all of us to find that answer. It's a big jigsaw puzzle, and we are all the pieces. And you have to be able to, I'm serious, if somebody says that they preach para unity, but they don't go with this person or that person, then you don't believe in para unity. End of story. If you're after money, wrong field. We're out to spend money. We're not here to make money.
And on top of that, Matt, you know, we're all adults, and everybody says they're against adult bullying. Well, that's part of adult bullying, is telling somebody they can't do something because you're already doing it. Plain and simple. You're being an adult bully. Knock it off.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of us, just human beings in general, we all have this competitive nature somewhere deep inside, whether it's a lot of us express it in a nasty way, like some do, or some hold it in. I mean, you know, you get that little tweak at first, but when you finally come to a point where you realize that you're comfortable with what you're doing and that you want to learn no matter what, because nobody's an expert in this field and we can learn from everybody. And I think that's, you know, one of the biggest reasons why, you know, I have this, you know, platform with Robin and Steve-O, is because anyone we bring on, it doesn't matter if you're second day in the paranormal or not, if you're dedicated to it, there could be something that you could say that could trigger my research to further. And I think
exactly
together like that, like, you know what, I'm super excited. Like, for example, like we all see Brian Laverty, like he's on cover of magazine, he started Global Ghost on Parapost, he's got Hunophobia. I mean, just seeing all that, anyone who, you know, would be jealous of that. But for us, we're so proud of our brother. We're so proud of his success. We're proud of what he's doing, because we know that if it's capable for him, it's capable for us. And who can help us? Our brother, as we help him, you know, go farther. So, I mean, it's just, that's the way that we got to look at it. But people have to come to that point in their life where they feel comfortable, you know? And it takes a minute. It does.
Yeah,
it does. And it's like another thing that I was going to add on to the end of what I was saying before is, like, you know, you're right, AJ. None of us are experts. None of us ever will be experts. But it's like, you know, before I met any of you there, you know, I have my own little team over here in the UK. I was just tuttling along, doing my little investigations, you know, passion for the paranormal, not giving a shit about anything, just tootling along, doing them all. Then all of a sudden, you know, I meet AJ, you know, I meet John from JK47, you meet Steve-O, then I start, you know, with Brian, you meet Matt and stuff like that. And the more people you meet, the more knowledge you have, and you don't actually realize it. But I'm thinking to myself, I look back now to the videos I was doing before I met any of you, and I think to myself, you know, I've came so far since then, and I'm not doing much different, but knowledge-wise, I've came so far, putting my head together. I know there's nothing in it, but putting my head together with all you lot, you know, then if we as a group put our heads together and it keeps expanding, you know, will we ever get close to the answer? We might never find it, but we'll get closer working together.
100%. Because here's the thing, and if you don't believe me, seriously try this. If you look at everybody's live investigations, everybody has their own way of doing it, but they're still getting evidence. So if that's the case, why not why not work with everybody?
Yep, you're absolutely right. I mean,
look at the battleship. Where I sat in a room by myself for like 2 hours because that's how I do investigating. I like to sit by myself, so that way there's no like interference but me.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean,
that's way.
One of the best ways to, to be able to investigate is by yourself. It's so crazy because it's like, have you guys noticed when you're like investigating, like you'll be out and like when you're alone, like you want obviously someone to witness it. That's why we have cameras and take pictures, all this stuff, and capture evidence. But those feelings that you can't describe to a camera when you're alone by yourself is something completely different. And I just feel like sometimes the energy will ramp up and it'll just be so.
Sorry, I'm just going to say, did that Jacqueline Dixon that's commenting, is she in the UK?
I think so.
Jacqueline, are you okay, Jacqueline? By chance?
If you are, it's fantastic doing that. I've been on ones that got your hair out. But honestly, over here, the law, and I've told AJ this and I've told Matt as well, the law in the UK, as far as trespassing goes, is only a civil offence. So all the police will do, if you go into an abandoned building, which I personally find are more active and are a lot better than places that people pay for. Reason being, the ones that people pay for are being rinsed weekly and even sometimes daily. And to the fact now where a lot of these places, they're getting little or no activity. If you go into an abandoned building, I don't know what certain parts of America might be different than others, different states and stuff. But over here, if you go into an abandoned building and somebody calls the police, all they by law can tell you to do is to leave, unless you start getting abusive or you're wrecking anything or you're trying to burn the place down, then you'll get arrested. But I've had the police turn up on me at numerous times. I shouldn't really be saying this, make me look bad. Numerous times, and each time it's just, you know, can you please leave? A couple of times I've even had it where the coppers have went, what's your channel called? I'll have a look at it.
Well, and see,
I love that.
Yeah, and that's right there. That's what I try to tell people. You know, don't look at us investigators as the problem. Look at the ones that are actually doing the destruction, the graffiti, the vandalism. Yeah. You know, we're not doing that. We're respecting things, and that's what gets on my nerves because a lot of our stuff over here has been taken away because of that. Because there was a lot of cemeteries helping out with us, and I know a lot of people are against that, but there was a lot of cemeteries letting us go in and work. But because there's other people in our town causing problems, we're no longer allowed to do that. Which is why this cemetery that I'm helping out with, I'm very careful with what I do and how I say and how I portray it, because I don't want that to be taken away for teams as well. And so it's just hard. It really is.
It is. But another thing about this for anybody in the UK as well is when we go to abandoned buildings or abandoned cemeteries or wherever you want to go to, always make sure they're already open. And I know it's going to sound silly, like preaching to the converted, but I never personally open a place.
You can trespass, just don't break in.
Yeah, don't break
Yeah,
it.
no, honestly,
Straight line, straight line.
that sounds about as Irish as me, but honestly, it's true. If there's an open window, if there's an open door, an open gate, stuff like this, I've even got a telescopic ladder. And I told a copper one time when he said, "How did you get in?" And I said, "I went up my ladder and in the window, up the upstairs window." I says, "Because the window was open." The thing is, trespassing you can't get in trouble for. So, as long as you don't break in, if it's open anywhere, make sure you take a picture of it before you go in, and you go.
Yeah, sadly, that's not how it will.
Yeah, that won't fly out.
Works
Not
here.
here.
Right here in the U.S.
Not in the U.S.
You all need to come to the UK.
At any point, if you enter the building, that is trespassing and breaking and entering.
You get
Yeah.
arrested.
You will get arrested.
Right on the spot.
I think you can get arrested either way, even if there's no trespassing signs there. I think you can get arrested.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
No.
it's
Property.
at that point, if it doesn't have any signs, it's just breaking and entering. It's not trespassing.
I'll change what I was saying slightly.
You know,
For anybody in the UK who's watching, do not go into these places and destroy them. If you have good intentions for doing investigations, go in, providing there's an entrance already there. Go in and do it.
And you know what's funny is
Don't do it in the US.
I
You'll
hear
get
about
arrested.
a lot of people saying we don't have places to investigate. We don't have places to investigate. Well, my first question is, when you investigate, do you clean up? Do you take care of the property? You know, what do you do with your trash while you're there? I ask those questions because a lot of people will just throw trash down or they don't help clean up. Like I've actually gained access to, and I've spoken on this on my show, Alpine Cemetery in San Diego, California. I actually got access to there because we went in and we helped out during a community day. And we helped clean up the cemetery. A group of us were lifting headstones. You know, we were putting flags down, fixing the flags for the veterans.
We did that at St. Mary's.
Yeah, we do.
too.
We do that all the time, and it just has become second nature. I always tell teams and groups, if you're going into these locations, make it better than what you found it. Clean up the trash, sweep up. I mean, dude, you know, it means a lot to these owners if you go in and you start sweeping. I mean, if you take care of the property, they'll have no problems bringing you in. Like, even if you go on, say, a tour, if you go on a tour of an old location, a historical location, and they see you picking up trash for them, they'll stop you and they'll say, why are you doing that? Well, I want to make the place look nice. Well, why? Well, here's why. And you explain to them, I'm a paranormal investigator. I love these locations and I want to respect them.
Yep.
They'll let you in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about intent.
It is, and there's also a lot of times with like cemeteries and some history places, they will have associations involved. Get a part of them and start learning what they do. I mean, they'll let you in. It's just about communicating.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Especially over here in the U.S., like I don't advise anybody to trespass or break in like that. Like how I was saying over in the UK, like it just wouldn't work over here. Especially where I live, like you get caught, you're definitely getting arrested. Especially with the cops that are not really that happy over here. Like all they have to say is peekaboo, and you're done. Like that's just how it works, you know. And
yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I'm actually advising it because I'm not. I'm just no. I'm
He's
just
saying you can do it, just don't get caught.
Yeah,
the amount of abandoned buildings that I have found or I have been given, and I have went to and done investigations, and the activity can sometimes be off the chart because very few or nobody is doing them.
Yep.
And if there's spirits there who want help, they're literally crying out for someone to walk in there.
Yeah.
We have a old hospital that used to be part of a psych hospital where we live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there isn't any like no trespassing signs.
Yeah.
You can only get so close to the building because the police around here patrol that road to make sure nobody goes in the building.
Well, that and the state hospital security.
Yeah, that and the state hospital security.
And they do not like paranormal investigators,
No,
oddly enough.
we got-
but they report a bunch of creepy crap. But
Yeah,
they
we
don't
were
like us.
on the property because a friend of mine's dad works security for the state hospital. And he's like, I don't like going near this building. It's really creepy. Like, I've had somebody watch me out of a window. I've gone into the building, and then there's nobody on the top floor.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I want to check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just so happened that he was working the night he kicked us off the property, my friend's dad. And he saw me, and he's like, why are you here?
Dead people.
And I'm like, to investigate what your son told me
Yeah.
that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you can't be here. He's like, I'm not going to call the cops because I know you.
Although, oddly enough, we did
But
have
you
the cops
can't
follow
be
us
here.
out, though.
But he didn't even report it. He's like, I'm not going to report it to the hospital.
Somebody did.
I'm not
'cause
going to report it to the cops.
Somebody did, because the cops followed us all the way down River Road.
Well, they followed you.
Oh,
You were in
well,
your own car.
yeah, truth
They
comes
didn't follow
out.
me.
Yeah. He was like,
They do teams of 2 for security because it's such a wide area.
Yeah.
So it was probably his partner that was in the car that reported it because he was the only one that got out of the car. But he
Yeah.
knew it was me and was like, why are you here? You can't be here. I'm not going to tell anybody, but you need to leave.
Yeah. It's sad that it's like that over here, you know. I mean, I'm happy that the UK isn't like that it's a little more lenient because there's so much history. I mean, and also with like people like, you know, breaking stuff or like, you know, damaging things. Like, if you really are a true like paranormal researcher or investigator, you respect history, in my opinion. I mean, that's what I've, you know, done myself. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but you respect the, you know, that history because, you know, that history is something that we're researching to try and get answers to who may be there or even something totally different. So, I mean, I hate when I see that. I mean, we have one of our most famous ones over here is Union Cemetery. It's where Ed and Lorraine Warren, because I live like right near them.
You're in a hot zone, AJ.
Yeah. Very well
He's doing a
known.
lot of research in Connecticut.
Yeah, I called up the town and I asked, and the guy was like, the minute I told him I wanted to come and do some research at nighttime, and he was just like, nope. He's like, right at dusk, a cop sits at the gate. We've had people knock over cemetery stones and gravestones and everything, damage a lot of stuff ever since Ed and Lorraine came, and every Halloween it's like this. And now we have a cop here all the time. If you go there, you will be arrested. I am not giving any leeway, and I will prosecute you to the max. And I'm like, whoa, wow.
That's what irritates me.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I get it because you have to understand, like, these people are going there to, like, kids are going to their party or whatever. They're kicking gravestones over. That's your loved one. You know what I mean? Like
and those stones cost a hell of a lot of money. I would be mad myself.
Yes, exactly. Just to buy that land area is like literally like $2,500, and that's just the little 6-foot like land you're.
Yeah, and then the stone's about the same amount.
Exactly. Everything's so much money, so I get it why they're like that, and I think it's
Highway
great.
robbery.
And that's why I always tell people, if you see like a community cleanup day, because I know here in our hometown they do it a lot. Go in, like a lot of teams have merchandise where they has their own team name and logo on. Go take that opportunity to show the community that you're not here to hurt anything, and even volunteer. Like, go to your local cemetery. All of them have an office. Go during business hours and say, hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm from this paranormal team. I just want to say your location is absolutely beautiful. Here's my card if you ever need help. If you need help landscaping, cleaning, whatever. You know, I'm here to help you. Go to your community outreach and do stuff like that. And once you start, you'll notice the community will start changing their attitude towards at least your team. And once you start introducing other teams and other groups, they'll start changing their feelings about the paranormal community. And even in the UK, if you like, a lot of places I can kind of already start to see, and from what I've heard, a lot of vandalism happens, a lot of negative things to point the lens, so to speak, at you, at the paranormal community as a negative influence. That's the way to do it. That's a great way of changing your community's outreach. Is if you're in the UK, buy something with your team logo on it. Represent yourself, represent your team. And plus, it's free advertising. Well, semi-free. You just throw on your shirt, your hat, whatever. Go out. Buy business cards. Hand them out. Help out.
Hey, you know what's funny? You talk about free advertising. You know what I did? I went to Walmart and I bought one of those, like, you know how you could write on your windows of your car? I wrote on my back of my window, like, about my Coventry Circle. There you go. my Coventry Circle channel, and I swear to God, dude, I was Grubhubbing, and I walked out of Chick-fil-A, and I had like 20 people surrounding my car taking pictures of it, and I walk over, I'm like, is everything all right? And they're like, you have a paranormal team, boo? I'm like, yeah, that's the thing right there. They're like, oh, we just subbed, and that day I got like 20 new subs. I was like, what the heck? I was like, all I had to do was write out my window? This is awesome.
You can ask my wife. I have Paranormal Consultant right across the windshield of my truck.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
When he used to deliver with Domino's, a lot of people would be like, oh, do you have a team? Do you investigate places? Like, could you come into my house and like help me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've handed out more business cards delivering for Domino's than I have just walking around.
I tell you what, using those platforms like that, man, for your own benefit, I would. Why not? You know what I mean?
I've actually put them. I put them in the boxes. I've like right in the boxes, Hannah. Hey, what's this? That's my paranormal team. Here you go. It's my thing I'm doing.
Get creative. You know what I'm saying? Get creative. You want to make something of your business or yourself, get creative. That's what I think, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And another thing about that as well is, how many times have you went in somewhere? Like, I see it over here quite a lot. You go in somewhere and there's a circle of salt on the floor, or someone's drawn a pentagram, or they've got candles all set out. And so it's like, you know, these people who are going in and doing that and doing these rituals, you know, do they actually know what they're doing? Are they actually closing them properly afterwards?
I can answer that question.
Oh, so can I. They're not.
No. But the first question is the pentagram upright or facing down?
Oh, it's always
depends
down.
on where you're standing.
Oh, there you go. That's one way to look at it.
True, but when you walk in the room, is the point straight up or down? That depends on what kind of circle it is.
It does. But the point I'm trying to make as well is that there's people, and it's happened over here. The video that they went in, and they've done this ritual. They've called this up or that up or whatever. They've doing spells out of a book to try and get demons and dark spirits and stuff in. And it's like, for a start, do these people actually know what they're doing? Number two. Yeah, that's it. Number two, are they closing up properly when they're finished? The likelihood is, no, they're not. And then the third thing is, they're leaving everything lying behind so that when someone else goes in there, you know what I mean, Matt? It's all sitting there so people know what they've done.
Actually, I have a prime example. AJ, I just sent you 4 pictures. And if you don't mind, you're welcome to show them.
If you could show them, I'm on my phone, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Let me get those up for you. So, as some of you may know, I just went with...
Oh, the bunkers?
Yeah, I just went with Minnesota Spirit Hunters, Brandon and Cara, and some of their group to a couple locations here in Pennsylvania, and they absolutely have this place just destroyed, and it's a beautiful location. So,
is it worse than when we were there?
You're about to see them. So, AJ, I shared the screen. If you could, please, brother. Or Robin, somebody, whoever.
I got you. Hold on. There you go.
Oh, it is a lot worse.
So this is a World War II bunker, a munitions bunker, where the basically the Pennsylvania Infantry or National Guard would keep extra ammunition. There's a bunch of these all over the place, but you can see all the graffiti, all the trash. All the trash is lined up. You can see pieces over here, but it's just completely destroyed, and it's such a beautiful location. Yeah, there's the front of it.
They really did destroy it. That didn't have half as much graffiti on it.
Went the wrong way.
Last time we were there.
There. Wow. So yeah, and you can just see that some of it is. I mean, really.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
really?
I'm gonna be honest. Of all the stuff that could happen, like if I saw them tag a graveyard, I'd be upset. But like, stuff, I don't mind the whole tagging thing. That I don't really consider too much damage. I mean, yeah, it does. Obviously, it kind of gives character to a blank location, which I kind of like in some cases. Very rare, but in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
But this is probably, in my opinion, tagging the wall is probably the constructive thing that somebody could do at a location. But with the trash on the ground like that, that's unnecessary, man. You know what I mean?
I don't know if we can really see it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Definitely see it.
Now you can see, and a lot of this is broken glass, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's just trash everywhere throughout this. And I mean, it's an amazing location. And like I said, this isn't the only one. There's a whole bunch of these all over, and it's gotten to the point where they actually have, I believe, two of them welded shut.
Wow.
So now nobody can even access them, and it is disrespectful and it's disgusting. And it's, to me, if we're going to be out in these cemeteries, these locations, it's up to us to make them look nice, because the nicer they look, the better. And plus, the spirits will see your intention. They'll see that you're trying to help.
Yeah. People don't realize how much that actually plays into a factor, you know. That respect really goes a long way. Like shock wave, you know, whatever energy, you know, that's out there. So I totally believe that. Totally believe that 100%. What I want to get into quickly, I mean, we're going to have you guys back on, because we just have so much to talk about, to be honest. I mean, it's almost been an hour already, and we haven't really got into anything that I was looking forward to get into. So we're definitely going to have you back on in probably the next few days, to be honest, just to bother you guys. But what I want to get into quick, if you guys can each give me a little summary of like what got you into the field, what was either the experience or whatever it was that pushed you into the paranormal field. I want to start totally random this time. Let me start with Lurker, actually. Lurker, what got you into the paranormal field, my friend? What was it?
What got me into the paranormal field was when I was younger, I used to watch Ghost Adventures and Taps, those guys, because I was fascinated with the paranormal. You know, I never knew there was something more than what we are in this plane. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I started watching it. And then, you know, YouTube started coming around in 2012, 2013. And then all these other paranormal YouTubers started coming on board. I used to watch some of their videos. I was like, ooh, someday I'm going to open up my own channel. And sure enough, in 2018, I started opening up my own channel. And
awesome.
I'm kind of a little bit different from the rest of the people. I only did this for 3 years, but I still got a lot to learn. I am a very unconventional. What I mean by unconventional is I do something that's not normally not done in a conventional way, like other paranormal investigators do it. So, you know, like your typical K2 meter, your voice, your spirit box, your dowsing rods and all that basic stuff, voice recorder. Me, I use devices and other equipment that's not normally meant to be used in a paranormal setting or an investigation. I just want to see what would happen if a spirit or a ghost or anything paranormal would react to those devices. That's what makes me unconventional.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I want to ask you a question. What devices that you use that aren't conventional? Or do you just talking about that you use the device you just named in an unconventional way?
I'll give you 2 examples. One of them I used was a light meter. What a light meter is, it's used what photographers use when they take pictures of models, like to measure the amount of light that it's needed to adjust, so they could take pictures of like models or a product they're going to try to advertise on commercials or take pictures of to advertise on the internet.
I like that.
That's one. Another one I tried was the aerometer, which is the measurement of wind speed. I wanted to see if, you know, if something paranormal, like, or their spirits have their own somewhat of force, to see if they could push the fan blades to see if it will have its own, you know, energy. So that's an unconventional.
Dude, that is absolutely awesome. I would never even have thought about that, man. That is so cool that you did that. Man. See, I tell you what, you say, oh, I've only been in the field for 3 years. Let me tell you something, dude. I would have never thought of that. I've been in almost a decade. Okay, so this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about that we can learn from each other, because I would have never thought of anything like that. And I think that that's absolutely awesome, man. So please, like, that's beyond level, dude. That's awesome. So keep up the good work, man. That's so cool.
Thank you, AJ.
Anytime, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mackenzie, I want to ask you, what got you into the paranormal, to the cryptid, to the cold? Tell us it all.
Actually, it's an interesting story. I was trick-or-treating with my friends in his neighborhood, and I was walking in a neighborhood next to his. He lived in like this little cul-de-sac area, and we were walking up this hill, and we saw this big animal-looking thing under a streetlight.
Yeah.
And it was all black, and we were like, oh, that must be a black bear. So we stood at the bottom of the hill, like waiting for it to leave, and it just didn't leave. So one of my friends decided, oh, well, we'll just scare it. So he picked up a rock and he threw it, and the thing just looked right at us and then stood up. And I was like, that's not a bear, because it was a lot taller than a black bear. If anybody knows how tall a black bear stands,
Yeah.
it was a lot taller than a black bear.
Bigfoot.
And I was like, I'm out of here. And I started running, and then my friends came after me. And I honestly think to this day that I saw a werewolf.
Oh, even better. Yeah, like, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. To be honest, like, there's so much things that we don't know about this world, and just so much, just all the stories. I mean, I have a couple of friends like Jeremy Bryant from Paranormal, The New Normal. He's totally into cryptids and stuff like that, and I just think it's real fascinating. I mean, there's so much we haven't explored, in my opinion, that's not just in space, but here just on Earth, between the oceans and, just all these forest areas. And who knows? I mean, there could be so much stuff hiding right in our plain sight that are just so good at, camouflaging itself, and coming out at like nighttime, like what you saw. But I would be scared. Like, how far away were you when you guys threw this rock? Because if this thing stood up, I would have probably died right there, or I would have crapped myself running away. One of the two.
It was probably about 10 meters away, or 10 yards away from us. So, like, if you're hunting and a deer's 10 yards away, it's a fair distance.
No, it's still getting shot.
It's still getting shot.
10 yards away. Oh, you're coming home with me.
But it was definitely far enough away that when I realized it stood up, I was gone. I was not sticking around.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then I met him, this guy.
Oh.
And it was completely different.
Oh, man. I don't know what's scarier, the thing you saw or Matt. I mean, I don't know.
Probably both. Maybe he was the werewolf.
I'm immune to holy water, though.
Right? There you go.
I just think it's fascinating with so many different beliefs.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. It truly is.
It's funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Wiccan, and I married a pastor.
There you go. Heck yeah.
That's
Breaking
cool,
all the
man.
rules, Matt. Breaking all the rules.
I joke with her that I'm going to go to a seminary and actually become like a pastor or a reverend. And she goes, why would you do that? I said, well, honestly, because you'd make the best preacher's wife.
Oh, my God.
No.
Only you, man. Only
She would never come to my sermons.
You'd be like, you're on your own. You're on your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe as well, before we go any further, AJ, maybe if Mackenzie wants to explain to people just what a Wiccan is, for people who don't actually know.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, because I see a lot of people posting this on my personal page, and like they talk about all this type of stuff. They really don't know what the hell they're talking about. So please, Mackenzie, enlighten us.
Okay, so a Wicca is a branch off of paganism. Now, paganism, as everybody should know, if you've learned about like Roman culture in school, is one of the oldest religions out there. It's before Christianity. For some reason, I couldn't get that out.
The Lord has smite her. Sorry, I was going to say that.
So it goes paganism,
Yep.
Christianity, Wicca.
Okay.
Wicca came during the time of Christianity. Constantine. It was a branch off of that. So it's based off of a lot of paganism, and it has roots in a lot of pagan holidays. So like Yule and the solstices, the winter solstice, the spring solstice. It goes off of lunar cycles, solar cycles.
Only Brian.
Thanks, Brian. I'm not crazy. I'm not a crazy Wicca.
That's too funny.
Shut up.
No, listen, I want to say, it's great.
She's gonna come through that.
It's great to have someone on the channel actually that that is Wicca, because my partner in Coventry Circle Paranormal, my uncle, he actually has a Wicca Bible upstairs, and he's let me see it and stuff, and I've read into it, and I tell you what, it's pretty cool. I mean, I actually really like it. I think it's really awesome. It's really not what people make out the kind of what they would call a cult. It's so much better than what they perceive. And I think that's why I wanted you to explain a little bit, because
there's two different sides to everything. Like you have good Christians and bad Christians. You have bad Wicca and good Wicca.
Yep. The
good Wicca is what I do. I don't dabble in hexes or curses or demons or anything like that. I don't want anything to do with that, because that's bad karma.
Then you got me.
I mean, I'm kind of stuck with him. I fed him and invited him to stay at my house the one night, and now I can't get him to leave.
Yep. Look at me. Put it back up, Matt. Put it back up.
She's stuck. She's stuck.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mackenzie. I appreciate that. Squeeks, you're next.
Yeah.
Tell me, what got you into it?
Well, I actually have not really said this to anyone. But
snap. First time talking with the source. Bam! Hell yeah.
So when I was younger, I had a lot of stuff go on that I couldn't explain. And I've said this all along, that my family, I was not sure who I could talk to at the time. But I kept having dreams that actually came true. And they weren't dreams that I wanted. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say exactly what they are, because I do have family watching too. And
of course, absolutely.
Don't want to get into that.
No.
But these dreams would come true, and I couldn't explain it. Like, I would have these dreams like a week or two before the actual event happened. Yeah. And to me, I was like, am I going nuts? Because I didn't have anybody I could talk to, and I felt like I was going crazy with everything else that I was growing up with, dealing with health-wise, and there just wasn't the sources that we have today. And so that really got me into the paranormal, because I wanted to research more about the gifts that I had. And I'm not calling myself psychic or anything like that. I don't like putting labels on me. I do have empath gifts. But as far as psychic, I don't believe that I am. But I do occasionally have certain dreams that do come true. And some of it just is not good things. So
yeah. No, I totally understand.
Go on, Brian.
I know you're not saying I'm crazy, Brian, but
he's trying to dig himself out of a hole now.
Right?
I'm
with Matt. Matt's the crazy one.
We are a perfect example of there's consequences for every action.
And yes, Raymond,
they have collided.
Wild animals. You learn that when you're like in elementary school, or you go to a zoo. Don't feed the wild animals. But obviously that doesn't work.
What did you feed him? Was it a cupcake?
Is a person.
No, what was it? What was that? I think it was pot roast, wasn't it?
No.
Oh no, that's
I made you I made you my pop-up lasagna.
Oh, that's right. It was
my
lasagna.
pop-ups Sicilian
you had to say
lasagna.
Lasagna, and I think homemade garlic bread too.
Yeah.
That's why I stayed the night. I was comatose.
I have an Italian grandfather, so both his recipes I owe to him.
Absolutely.
That's funny.
I was in a coma after that meal. I remember that.
Yep.
Oh.
Then she threw on a movie, and next thing I know, I was waking up. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, I like it here.
Oh,
right.
Crazy. What I want to say, Squeeks, was I completely know what you're talking about. I've had the same experiences where I'll have dreams that'll come true. Like I'll have visions that'll happen that'll literally come in front of my face like a
Yeah.
picture, and it's scary. I mean, a lot of the times it's never anything positive. It's always something negative. Like one thing that I don't really understand that's been happening a lot lately, like, and I've been telling Robin every experience that's been happening. When someone is gonna say almost pass away, or like they're basically, I'm gonna have to call the ambulance, like something like that. If it's someone close, like what recently happened, my friend's brother, I was over there, I was with them, we're hanging out, and something came over me, and I'm like, yo, I told my buddy Mike, I'm like, listen, you need to watch your brother. And he goes, why? I was like, listen, I can't explain this feeling. I said, but something bad's gonna happen today. You need to keep checking on him. Well, I ended up leaving the house.
Yep.
45 minutes after I left the house, something made him get up. He said he doesn't know what it was, but he's like, oh, I'm gonna go in the kitchen and get a beer. And right before he walked past his brother's door that was shut, he was like, no, I got to check on my brother. And he knocked on the door, and as he listened, he heard his brother like making this gargling noise. He had to break the door down. Come to find out, his brother was overdosed on the bed, and he ended up saving his life. And it was within, he called me up freaking out. How did you know? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what made me get up. And, it's happened multiple times. It happened with my father and me when we were in the car. He had a seizure. I mean, it's just so many things have happened like that have visions and dreams that have come true.
Exactly.
So I totally relate. So,
Yeah, I've had that. My grandmother had cancer, and she got better. And then I said to my mom, I was like, we really need to watch Ma'am. And she's like, why? I was like, something bad's going to happen.
yeah.
I was like, I don't know what it is, but I just have that feeling. And not even a month later, she went in for a cancer test, and she was out of remission. The cancer came back. It was in her brain, her lungs, her bones. Like, there was nothing they could do.
Yeah.
And she died in October of 2015. So after I graduated high school, that year she died.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. That's always, but
I feel like it's empathic abilities that made me understand that something was wrong. Like,
I believe
something's not
That's
right.
exactly what it is. And I've had a couple, and that's why I don't like to say it in front of family, but I've had a couple that I should have said something, and I didn't because I was scared, and it didn't turn out right. And there's not much I could have done. I mean, I didn't know or didn't understand it, and I still don't know how to control it. And so I don't let a lot of people in on everything that I am capable of seeing or have gifted wise because of that. Because I still have that fear in my head that somebody's not going to understand it or my family's going to judge me. And there's nothing against my family. I love my family to pieces.
No,
but that's just it. Not a lot of people understand it.
No,
I don't even understand it.
No, we all don't understand it. You know what? It sucks because we don't want to say something, but I came to the agreement within myself that it's kind of my duty. As much as I don't want to see the things that sometimes I see or feel, I'm like, I have to say something because I'm tired of losing people. Like, I've lost 27 friends to drugs, and it's like, I just want to not lose people if I can. And if I have ability to stop it or say something to warn or do whatever, if that's the ability for some reason that I have, then I got to use it. But not to stop what we were saying, but I can't say her name. Ayla, that's her name. I walked into a hotel I was staying at, and suddenly I got a vision in my mind that the hotel was going to burn down. The hotel burned down the next day. That's kind of stuff that I'm talking about now. I always wonder, like, is it just us picking up on that energy? Or are we actually picking up on a future thing that is going to happen and we're getting warned by something,
Well, exactly. And that's why I'm like, I used to hold myself, I started to hold myself to a higher, I forget the word,
standard?
but a higher aspect of it, because to me, if I had or have those gifts, and I say it that way because I still don't understand it, then I should be able to see every single one, right?
No,
but
not
that's
true.
not the case.
Yeah,
And so I blame myself for a lot of things back in the day, and that's why I was so shy, because I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
It's like that day I told you about your dad. I was like, you should probably go over and help your dad hang lights?"
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Why? I haven't gotten a phone call." And I was like, "I feel like if your dad gets up on that ladder, something bad's gonna happen, and you're not gonna have your dad anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually, given the experiences, being in this field so long, I obviously did not take it with a grain of salt. So I checked in, and they said that Dad was going to be hanging lights that day, and I said, "Don't you dare!"
Yeah.
I said, "I don't want you getting up there." I said, "You know damn well that if you were going to go do that stuff, to call me," because he back then he had bad knees. This was before he had knee surgery, and I want to believe that, with her telling me this, that prevented something even worse. And my parents don't believe in the paranormal by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you just got to put your foot down in a sense and just say,
And I
look,
didn't even know he was going to be hanging lights. I just said that he definitely should not be getting up on a ladder because something bad is going to happen.
And sure enough, he was that day. That was the plan.
He was going to hang lights over the driveway.
It's funny because a lot of we all can't agree. Like a lot of people in this world, we all can't agree on, especially if people are skeptic, that the paranormal is real, right? But if you say to someone, "I have a gut bad feeling" or something, everyone can relate to that. It doesn't matter if they look at it in a paranormal way or not. You just say something bad's gonna happen, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, I get it." If you really, say it out to people. So I mean, we could always get it across, and I'm glad that your dad actually listened, man, because a lot of people don't listen. They're like my father.
Well, him kind of also like calling him from the car on his way over and told his dad that he was almost there was kind of a deterrent for his dad.
I told him, I said, "I'll take that damn ladder." I said, I even told them a couple times. I said, if they're doing stuff they're not supposed to, because my parents are a little bit on the older side. And
they're like
I've told
70.
them, I said, if you start overdoing it, I said, I'm going to take the damn ladder.
Yeah.
I said, I want you here for a while. I don't want, my daughter stays with them. I was like, my daughter does not need to see that. I don't want to be getting a phone call that you fell off the roof. I said, if you need something done, you tell me. I will go over and I will do it. I mean, I've got bad knees, but I can bounce pretty good. My dad, not so much.
Right. And that's the kind of stuff that you can prevent from happening. But if you see something that's an actual natural death or something, and it's not, we can't control that. We can't.
Well, it's like the thing with my grandmother. She had stage 4 cancer. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't fix it. I knew she was going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks when those moments, it's like, that's why having an ability, no matter what it is, it's a great thing, but then it's also a curse. It works in both ways. Like you feel the impact. Anyone who really is, empathic that has these emotions, I mean, you feel it. So I completely understand. And, thank you guys for sharing. So Matt, tell me, what got you into it, brother?
Actually, two things. Like I stated earlier, here in Pennsylvania, we really don't promote the paranormal. We keep all of the, I can actually. Mackenzie has seen me bounce, and I will giggle the entire time. But here in PA, we don't talk about the paranormal. It's very taboo, very Christian based,
especially where we are in the middle of the Appalachia.
Oh yeah, and when I was 16, I was visiting my mom. She worked at the state hospital that we spoke about earlier, and I was leaving, and it was just that time of the year where it got dark somewhat early, like early fall. AJ, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
like 5 o'clock hits, it starts to get dark.
Oh yeah.
And I was leaving the state hospital grounds, and I had an old 87 Chevy Caprice Classic, light blue metal boat.
Ooh.
And this was those old days where we had the old Nokia phones where they were indestructible. Nuclear blast went off, you're dead, but your phone's still ringing.
Yeah.
It's like, who's calling?
Yeah.
Standing over your body. Who's calling me at this time? I'm dead, dude. But anyway, I'm driving away from the state hospital grounds, and we have, like, we're in coal region. So they used to have an old coal railroad track that went across the grounds. And as I'm driving down underneath this bridge, my phone went off, which was weird because none of my friends had my cell phone. It was only my parents. And that was when you were paying 25 cents for a text message.
Yeah, I know.
And
9 p.m. Remember those days?
Call me at 9. Call me at 9. Yeah. 8:59. You're sitting there staring at your phone.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sorry.
no, you're.
We'll
But
never pick up on the show.
Squeaks, it
It's
may
not,
not be
hey,
our
hey,
show,
it's
but
not
you
even
will
like
snort.
it's not even like we used to go online back in those days because we have to wait 25 minutes and hope nobody picked up the house phone.
Right?
Yeah.
God forbid if you try to download anything.
Oh, dude, don't even get me going. Don't even get me
Yeah,
going.
and the phones were massive as well, weren't they? We used to call them over here. We used to call them the Nokia brick.
Yeah. Oh, we had them bricks. We called them bricks. We got rid of Nokia. We just call them bricks. But so my phone went off, and I just so happened just to look down real quick, and as I looked back up, I saw a female standing in the middle of the road. Now, I stated I had the '87 Chevy Caprice. It was not known to stop on a dime. You hit your brakes 50 yards, you'll stop. So I slammed on my brakes as hard as I could, and I witnessed this woman pass right through my vehicle, solid. Once I finally stopped, I got out, and I was like, "Ma'am, are you?" And that's when I realized what just happened. I was like, and she turned, looked at me, and just kind of faded out. And I just went, no, and jumped in my car, and I took off. Didn't speak of it. So right after that, I started finding the different shows on TV, like Ghost Hunters, Taps. That was what really started getting my interest. My mom didn't obviously like it because we're a Christian family. We don't believe in that. And
Your
it's
mom's
all
super
make believe.
Christian.
Well, but so I just kind of watched it for entertainment. And then once I was in the military, I went out to San Diego. And this was a couple years later. And my couple of my friends at the bar, they wanted to go out and investigate this. It was a cemetery. Now it's a park right next to an elementary school, which is good location.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, why not? I was already pretty buzzed. I was like, let's go. Screw it. And then I started catching EVPs. And then I saw some shadow figures. And I realized that what I was seeing on TV with Ghost Hunters was legit.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding me? This is actually real?
Yep.
So we started going out every weekend. We started hanging out, doing things. And then when I got out of the military, that's when I decided I'm going to be a part of a team. So the short version, I found a team. They were very money hungry. We all know a team like that.
Yep.
And I met with a couple other individuals, and we started our own team, San Diego Paranormal Eye. 16 years later, here I am.
After CPPE,
SDPE, OCPE, Orange County Paranormal Eye. And then I started one here in Pennsylvania called CPPE, Central Pennsylvania Paranormal Eye.
Wow.
And that it was a roller coaster. I mean, SDPE in San Diego did amazing. We had a lot of fun. We became pretty infamous in the area, and the community was very accepting of who we were. But here in PA, some of the teams were, let's just say, they wanted to be the next Zach Bagans. Yeah. And I'm not going to get on that hot button. we all know what happens after that. But it got to the point where I just got fed up with it. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. And you can ask Mackenzie. I almost walked. I almost said, no, I really don't. I don't want to do anything with this. A couple weeks later, the bug came back, and I was like, I want to do something.
Yeah. So
I was telling Mackenzie that, I wanted to do something to help people. And she said, well, what about like consulting people? I was like, what do you mean? Like working with multiple teams and groups? And she goes, yeah, just, do something as like a consultant. And I said, well, I don't even know where to start with that.
Yeah.
And I said, so you're saying like a paranormal consultant? And she goes, yeah, we could do stuff like that and just help teams. Don't have to worry about being on a team.
Or investigating or the drama or anything like that. Just help people.
Yeah. Yep. So that's where Paranormal Consultant came in. And
that's
you heard about how the show started. And it's been a ride.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, I tell you what, we got to schedule you guys back on again. There's so much to talk about. I got to also have Mackenzie on, by herself to talk more about the cryptids and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to talk more and schedule some stuff for sure. But
absolutely,
what I'd like you guys to do before we end, I want you to please shout out some stuff that you want to promote. P3, the PARACREW, Paranormal Consultant. Matt, you can take it away. Anyone can finish. And then Mackenzie, please again shout out your stuff that everyone can go check out as well.
Well, first of all, on behalf of the PARACREW, I just want you guys to know we really appreciate Robin and AJ for bringing us on. Big hearts to you guys. Couldn't be happier. Love you guys. Great show on ours the other day. It was amazing. But I think I definitely want to start off with Brian, our boy Brian Laverty.
Absolutely.
Good old Brian John. I mean, I don't think we would have the networking that we would have without him and Parapost. And like I say on my shows, definitely go check them out. If you haven't, seriously, you need to go. If you believe in Para-Unity, if you believe in helping, go get yourself Parapost. Even if you want to learn, it's such an amazing tool. And Brian has done such an amazing job. And now with the Global Ghost Hunt coming out, I mean, that's just next year. We've got so many things to do, and it's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely.
So I couldn't start without him, without mentioning him first.
Absolutely.
But obviously all of our guys, just like you shouted out, PD Region, great group of guys. And I also want to shout out my co-hosts. You guys, I mean, they've been absolutely amazing, and it's been a lot of fun, and the show's only gotten better.
Absolutely.
The show's only gotten better with these two. And I will say, as far as the P3, I'm so proud of Paul for taking over the UK division, Marcus and Scott for taking over the US division. And I'm going to tell everyone right now, we're not going to stand for the drama. So guys in the UK like Robin, who wanted to start networking and having fun, Lex from Lex Paranormal is another one. We're not stopping. We will not put up with the drama. We will not put up with the BS. It stops. It's going to. It's done. It's done. It's over with. Move on. Consider the P3 UK the start of a new chapter.
Amen. I like that. I like that a lot, my friend. I like that a lot. That's awesome.
There's always a second chance, but if you got a problem, take care of it.
Be an adult.
Deal with it. I can handle my enemies.
Get rid of the ego.
The table, break bread with them, or anything else. That's not a problem.
And forget the ego. Leave it at the door.
Yep.
Don't even bring it, because P3 is not about it. We don't want it.
Yep. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on and for
absolutely.
Honestly, being great friends in this field. It's hard to find good people, and especially in this crazy world. So we appreciate it way more than these words can describe. Mackenzie, please shout out your stuff. Tell everyone where they can find you at.
One sec. I gotta call you out, Mr. AJ.
Why?
Lurker, Squeeks. Did you guys hear what he called us?
What?
He called us friends.
Oh,
no.
Sorry. Oh, whatever.
That's a mistake.
We family.
Gotta rub it in.
I said, call him a tart now.
Yeah. Only you guys.
I had to. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm muting you because I don't like hearing myself.
Raymond, yes, we will be bringing on the Global Ghost Hunt administration team. We're just going to wait till the thing drops, and then we will be on because there's so many people doing live. So definitely, buddy, you will be on for sure. So, but Mackenzie, go ahead. Shout out your stuff for us so we could all check it out.
Sorry, there was a Lucian. One of my cats passed away, and he likes to fuck with the green screen, so there was a Lucian behind me.
Is that what I've been hearing? Scratches?
Yeah, that's Lucian.
That's awesome.
He's a good boy. He just is still a little confused at the fact that he's dead.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But yeah, Creepy Cryptids is at 7 p.m. on Mondays.
Except for tonight.
Except for tonight. Tonight it is not. Tonight it is at 7 tonight because Monday I have a lot of stuff going on. But I really would like to thank you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate it a lot. I know it was kind of a surprise. I was a surprise guest.
No surprise. Hey, more the merrier. More the merrier.
But I'm excited to have you on my show next Monday.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be on. It's gonna be
and
fun.
I would eventually like to have both of you on the show if that was possible.
Oh no, I will never go on a show with him again. He steals the spotlight. So nope. No, I'm just joking.
And I like to give a big shout out to Squeakers for helping me.
Thank you.
Guys.
You're welcome.
And Lurker for being supportive of the idea.
Hell yeah, Lurker.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Well, hey guys, thank you so much. I can't thank you guys enough. And honestly, thank you for surprising us, Mackenzie, for coming on, because I think this just made the show 10 times better. So super pumped to have you on. You have a lot of knowledge. Can't bring these two anywhere, I tell you.
No, and Lurker calls this our wormhole because it is. If we're in two separate corners of a computer, it's a wormhole. Stop touching my mic.
Geez. I tell you what, no, it's awesome though. I wish I had little. Like,
You're in her bubble, man. You're in her bubble.
What are you doing?
I can't reach.
That doesn't work.
Y'all remember that with your siblings? Get out of my bubble.
Yeah.
Mom would pull over the car in like 20 minutes.
That hat covers your face.
Never a dull moment.
Yo, he's got a big head.
Nothing up there.
Hey, I was gonna say, you know, when you start going bald, right? Just shave it all off and get like a tattoo that has marbles falling out. That's what I'm gonna do. Telling you.
What did we say about my geckos?
Huh?
What did we say about my geckos? Big heads, but empty.
Oh yeah.
I have two crested geckos, and they're not very smart, but they have big heads. So we say big heads, but empty.
Well, guys, listen. Thank you guys so much for coming on. To all our viewers that are going to watch us later, and the ones that are watching now, head over to the PARACREW Podcast on every social media. We put it in the description. We will be updating Lurker's information as well and putting it in the description right after the show. So
absolutely,
for all the links. Also, like you said, like you know, no one told me, but we're gonna have to update and put Mackenzie's stuff on there too, which I'm super excited about. So make sure to see your show tonight, Creepy Cryptids, at 7 p.m. It's gonna be awesome. I mean, it's gonna be so cool. And then also check out next week when I'm on, and you know, we're gonna have a great conversation next week as well. But guys, we're gonna schedule some stuff. We need to have you back on already. There's so much more to talk about. We could talk for probably 5-6 hours, easy. But just want to thank you guys for coming on. We appreciate all you guys. Love you guys. You guys are such family to us, and we appreciate all of you. So we will talk to you guys next time. Thank you again.
Thank you.
We appreciate you having us on, AJ and Robin.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Appreciate you. Family.
Yeah.
All right, my guys. Much
See you
love.
later.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Later, guys.
I'm still here.
Such a good show, man. So good to have such good family on.
It was. You could just talk on and on, couldn't you?
I know. I had to. Irene, thank you for staying up with us. I know you're all the way in Japan. We love you for being on here. You're just awesome all the time. You talk to us. We have a great time in the comments. I really appreciate you. So thank you for staying up. I know it's super late probably there. Just all our viewers, Raymond, everyone. I mean, Paul, all of you. Just thank you. Everyone, Ayla, whoever I can't even name them all probably, but I tried, right? And he's not paying attention to me, my own co-host. Gotta love it.
I'm gonna get in before you here. I am gonna get in before you here. Okay?
Oh, that's what you're doing. See this sneaky son of a...
No. I'll get in before you here. Everybody, next Sunday, in fact, we'll do it together. Next Sunday, AJ, tell them who we have on.
We have a real awesome guest next week. He's really well known. Has been on the man, I just remember it's Unexplained
Most Haunted UK.
Yeah, he's from the UK. He's a parapsychologist, Dr. You want to say his first name because I'm bad at it.
Dr. Kieran O'Keefe.
Kieran O'Keefe. I always mess the first name up, but I don't want to disrespect him like that because he is a very intelligent individual. And
anybody who knows, who has watched Most Haunted over here, will know. Anybody who's into the paranormal over here, and even in the US as well, will know this guy. This guy is up there with the best. This guy knows
Yeah.
his shit.
Yes, he really does. And I tell you what, it's amazing. Like to have him on. You could watch him on Discovery Plus. He's on, like I said, the unexplained, caught on camera. There's a bunch of episodes that he's on, if not all of them, to have his insight in. But it's gonna be great to talk to him and see, what things that he has seen in parapsychology field that, maybe to him isn't spirits, but to us is. And it's gonna be a great conversation. And I love having people
It
on.
is.
That just don't maybe not fully believe. I mean, he does believe obviously in the scientific matter, but there's other ways that like pareidolia, things like that affect us as investigators and as people in general, the way that our minds work. So it's going to be great to have him on. We want to say thank you to our brother Brian Laverty. Keep up what you're doing, man. We're super proud of you. Can't wait to see all the rest you're doing. It's going to be amazing. Irene, love you as well. Thank you again. And Robin, as you know, Irene's more known in the UK than over in Japan because she said she can't really talk about it over there. But please go and press that subscribe button on our new YouTube, and also follow us on the newest Twitter that we have. We're trying to get those numbers up, so if you guys could help us out, please do that. If you like, subscribe, share, whatever you like to do. Thank you again for another episode of Talking with the Source. Until next time,
See you later.
Bye.